Hello and welcome to Tucson, Arizona. I'm Randy. Uh, so I was in the gym and I listen to all kinds of stuff in the gym. Typically not music. I'm listening to world events and things happening so I can stay up to date on what's going on in the world. I don't always have good signal at work to be able to do things, or I'm busy working with other people. Like today, I was on a project where I had to be able to communicate, so I wasn't really able to listen to anything. So I'm listening. Like, I knew about the stupid strike coming on because my wife's been talking about it, and I pay attention to world politics, so I know that it was only a matter of time before Iran tried doing anything crazy. So much is happening right now at once. Like, you cannot convince me that evil isn't afoot throughout the entire planet. So I'm a bit hot under the collar about all of this. I'm a commercial HVAC tech in southern Arizona. I work long hours, I work long weeks, I work long months, I work long years. A lot of overtime. I will be voting for Trump for lots of reasons, but the dude keeps his promises. We started no new wars under him. We actually actively cooled down the situations across the planet. In a matter of months that Kamala's been not in charge, Iran, in the last 4 years, Iran has been able to escalate because the first thing Joe Biden did was come in and shut off all the taps to all of our oil. I grew up in Galveston Island, Texas. I know a lot about these damn ports. I got family members that used to work those ports. I got a lot of friends still in Texas that work the oil fields, or did, because they've all been laid off. So the first thing he did was for the first time, we were a net exporter. In the first time of history of our country, we were tapping enough oil to be able to supply all of our oil needs and start sending it off, selling it to other people. Excuse me. And the first thing he did was cut all the taps to all the oil. So then that increased our fuel costs. I've got big, heavy, expensive to fuel trucks. So my trucks are just parked. Hardly get to drive anything anymore. And the price of everything has gone through the roof. If you're watching this, you're not wealthy. At least I would seriously doubt any wealthy people are watching this right now. When was the last time you could afford to go out and fill a cart full of groceries? Oh no, you spend half your check on groceries. Of that, I've got no doubt. But how full is the bottom of that basket? If you're like me, in my house, a lot of red meat, a lot of high protein, a lot of chicken, a lot of beef. We eat, some pork, a lot of fish. All these things have gone through the roof. My wife can't have bread. She can't have gluten. And it's not because some stupid fad diet. She can't have it. So have you tried buying gluten-free bread lately? It's not cheap, and you're getting itsy-bitsy square slices, about half the size of a normal loaf of bread, and you're only getting 10 slices, and it's 3 times as expensive. We raise chickens and have been since before the lockdown nonsense. But chickens go through phases of when they lay, and a lot of you out there probably started raising chickens during all the nonsense. Eggs are still expensive. We still will buy eggs every once in a while when our chicken production starts slowing down, because all of our dogs eat an egg every morning because it's really good for dogs. Sorry, a bit parched. So, listening to all this stuff going on, and I've been waiting to hear more and more about this port nonsense, because so much of our country, sadly, ever since unions, I'm not a union guy either. So there's a lot of people that aren't going to like anything I got to say in this video. Unions are the reason this country is so screwed. I said it. You can argue with me all you want. You can get in my comments. You can say whatever you want about me. Call me ignorant. I don't care. My industry is full of union guys. I've had conversations. My first job was a carpenter. I did 2 years apprenticeship and decided I did my first visit to the hall, got real information because I was about to turn 18. So all of my hours, because I was worked through a job program because I was a schmuck in school and went to an alternate school. I turned 18. I had 2 years worth of hours that would have gone towards my apprenticeship. Could have fast tracked my career in being a carpenter. I did a paper as a senior in high school on the history of the unions, and immediately was like, nope, this isn't for me. I did my 2 years in high school. I'm done. I'm not going to be going to work when someone else tells me to go to work and stay home for months at a time when someone else tells me to stay home, because they're greedy and they want more money. Meanwhile, I get paid the same no matter what. I was also an electrician for a while. Arizona's not a unionized state, so you can get work, lots of electrical work, if you're not a union guy. You go to places like Colorado, you need to join a union in order to get on the big jobs. So I built high rises here at the U of A, making in some cases a lot more money than the non-union guy or the union guys that came over and working a non-union job. But they had to go ask permission from Big Daddy Union to come work a non-union job. I'm a grown ass man. I'm not asking some other man where I can get a job, where I can work, when I can work. I'm watching half-ass watching these videos and listening to these videos of these union guys just being okay with shutting down the entire economy because they're fucking greed. Excuse my language, I'm pissed. Unions are the reason Detroit died. Auto manufacturers couldn't keep up with the demands of the unions, and they decided to go overseas or south of the border. And in some cases, they were already doing things up in Canada. I've got partial Canadian vehicles. So I got a few here that are American made because they're old American Chevy iron. But then I've got old vehicles that are Canadian, and one of my trucks is Mexican. Like, you union bastards did this. And now you're demanding a 77% increase. Please go look it up for yourself. 77% increase over the next 6 years. And you're demanding, just like the freaking unions for SAG, demanding you don't go AI and do automated for your career so you can keep your career safe. How about don't be greedy little pricks. Stay affordable. You guys make more money an hour than I do. Oh, hold on. Bear with me while I deal with my stupid camera freeze nonsense. But I am still talking away. You guys wanting more money is the reason that we're in this position. You make more money an hour than I do, and you get to call all your shots, and now you're crippling the economy, and you're okay with it. And you're going to tell me that's not greed? Your dude is saying...
the Eastern ports all went on strike, and this is the words from their leader, the guy that really cares about America, you know.
But today's world, it's changing into the future. They're not making millions no more. They're making billions, and they're spending it fast as they make it. I want a piece of that for my men, because when they made their most money was during COVID, when my men had to go to work on those piers every single day, when everybody stayed home and went to work.
They're demanding a 77% pay raise over the next 6 years, by the way.
That's a lot. Not my men. They died out there with the virus. We all got sick with the virus.
So did I.
We kept them going. From Canada to Maine to Texas, Great Lakes, Puerto Rico, now the Bahamas. Everybody went to work during COVID. Nobody stayed home. Well, I want to be compensated for that.
Why? You got paid.
For the world. They know what I want.
You got to work. There's so many people who wish they...
I worked through all of COVID. And kiss my ass, dude. My company gave me, and every employee, I work for a very, very, very large corporation. I like my company. I've been here 10 years now in a row, but I've worked for my company for about 13 years total. I've got no qualms with my company. Now, my company, during all of this nonsense, when they were trying to force the jab, we said no. And they were like, okay, you got it. And they left us the hell alone. So you can sit there and have your excuses about, oh, I was going to lose my job if I didn't get it. Hey, man, whatever helps you sleep at night. We said no. And then, like a union, but not union, we all said, well, we'll quit. And then we'll file a lawsuit because, you know, my body, my choice. That's your guys' favorite freaking argument. We decided, no. It's my medical history is legally protected from anyone I don't want to know about it. It's federal law. And all we said was, no, it's illegal for you to ask about my medical history. I don't have to tell you. It's not your damn business. I make you a lot of money and I solve problems for you on the daily. So just kick rocks, let me do my thing. I'll keep making you money and we'll be good. And then because of all the crippling economy under the Biden Harris nonsense, my company hooked up everybody with a percentage raise to offset the economy. Now, it didn't really offset everything. Like I'm still not making as much today take home as I was leading into 2020. But I got no beef. I love my company. Barring anything crazy, I'm gonna retire from this company. Commercial HVAC, Southern Arizona. I bet I put in more hours than any one of your dock workers, and I was working remodeling a hospital through all of 2020. I was around people with COVID every day. I never got it, and if I did, I wasn't one of the people who showed that I had it. Never got a fever, never lost sense of anything, just kept on working. So my company isn't out here demanding more money from any damn buddy because their guys were at work all day. You weren't the only people working, dude. I was keeping people comfortable in offices. You know, I wouldn't have had a job at that time if office buildings weren't still open. If big commercial real estate wasn't still in business, because I do commercial. I work on ACs the size of school buses. That's what I do. I don't work on houses and all these little things. I work on chillers the size of a house. So don't give me that, man. And to demand that kind of money. You know what job isn't ever going to be able to be automated? Mine. Do I demand anything from my company? No. But all these SAG bastards were so worried about AI taking their jobs. How about write a good movie? Do something someone wants to see. And then maybe, just freaking maybe, you'll keep in business and you'll be able to keep your damn job. Instead, you suck at your job. You're implementing all this woke garbage and you expect everyone else to pay for it. And you expect everyone else to just sit down idly and accept it. No. But you're willing to let your greed take over and cripple an already dying economy. You realize Iran, China, and Russia are all trying to cripple the American dollar. We have no exports. We're not worth anything outside of our petrodollar. And the rest of the world right now is actively trying to destroy the petrodollar. Do your homework. Get out and learn about something. Don't just sit idly by and watch what CNN tells you what to believe, or even Fox. I don't watch any of these people. I watch independent news providers who are out there doing real journalism and trying to figure out what's actually happening to people. Stop being a one-issue voter. Vote for what's right. What's fascinating is these greedy bastards will vote for Kamala, the person who's crippling the freaking nation. Again, the first thing Biden did when he got into office was stop fracking, stop drilling, and shut down pipelines. So you know who put in pipelines? Russia. Now, I don't have a beef with Russia. Ukraine started this fucking war. Stop blaming Russia. Stop saying Big Daddy Russia's so bad. Again, sorry for cussing. Probably get this video like hacked or something. But like, think about it. There was a agreement in place. If you made an agreement with your neighbor and you said, I will not try to ever expand my fence past my property line, and they said, okay, we're cool, and then I try to move my fence line with the help of all my other neighbors, do you think my neighbor isn't going to like retaliate some way? No more borders farther north. And they're like, oh, well, hey, we want to join. We want to be pals. And we're doing a proxy war, sending all this money over there. We don't have money. We've been printing money like freaking crazy for 4 years. How, when these cows come home, you're going to watch more people become homeless, more people become jobless. You're going to watch everything go through the freaking moon. And now, thank God, most of the stuff that's being imported, that's being stuck, isn't going to affect certain people. I doubt there's anything on there I want. Like, provide my own damn food. I buy half a cow every year. Like, do things that don't just rely on going to Walmart every damn day. Like, let those blue jeans set. I don't care. They are right that this company went from making millions to billions. And that's because you guys voted for Kamala. Well, maybe not if you're watching and you didn't, but anyone out here who voted for Biden, this is mostly your fault. Because all those tariffs got raised that were keeping Iran from being a problem. All those tariffs got raised from China, keeping them at bay. There was a lot of things in place keeping us at the top of the freaking mountain. We were at the top of the food chain. And now we are just systematically dropping. People can't afford to buy anything. Like, when was the last time someone could just go out and splurge on some ridiculous stuff that they could 4 years ago? Are you better off today than you were 4 years ago? I doubt it. I sure as hell am not. Like, my hobbies have pretty much all gone by the wayside. I'm not out here buying a bunch of crazy car parts anymore. All of 2020, I rebuilt a truck in my yard because I had the money to do it. And then sold it, bought another Harley, sold it, bought another truck, started rebuilding another square body, and now it's sitting out there. I've got some new parts, but I can't afford to do the full teardown and respec my entire truck. Can't afford the parts. Are you better today than you were 4 years ago? I seriously doubt it. And do you think, based on the timeline of the last 4 years, it's going to get better over the next 4 years with the same administration in office? Or should we go back to maybe making some money? And maybe we start figuring out how to bring things back home, bring industry back home. Maybe unions should probably be crippled and gotten rid of. So you guys all have a problem with Russia because Russia. Well, where do you think unions came from? I wonder. Oh, is it a socialist idea? Is it a communist idea? Maybe there's communist manifestos tied directly to the creation of unions. And maybe these unions, if you go back far enough, crippled the British industry. And maybe they came here, crippled our industry. And now 90% of our main goods are made elsewhere. Now, tell me how unions are a good thing. Oh, they're good for the worker because the worker gets a pension that they get to live on forever. And they get to do the bare minimum and skate by until certain people at the top want more money, and then they go to war against a company. And then this is why companies leave, because you realize if these companies decide to leave our soil and start somewhere else, they can still hold land here. China owns farmland all over America. These companies can still start businesses somewhere else and not fall under all the same rules as if they were an American manufacturer or American business. All you're going to see is all these companies leave. What are we doing? Like this country should be ran like a company. If your CEO is pissing away all your money, why would you keep that CEO? Like, what are we doing here? This wouldn't be happening under proper leadership. And you're going to tell me Walls is the proper leadership? Hell no. That dude's a crybaby and weak. And he's okay with 1,000 bathrooms in every building. No, sorry, no more. We don't get to play by these little kiddie games anymore. People need to be standing up, speaking their mind, voting their morals, voting their values. You know, you can disagree with me, call me whatever name you want to call me. I don't care. I know me. My friends and family know me. You don't. You're hearing a rant from an angry person who's watching his country get pissed away by a bunch of obstinate children who are lining their own pockets. Now look at the Obamas and how much money they're worth. Look at the Bidens, how much money they're worth. Now look at how much they were worth before they got in office. Now you tell me the politicians aren't freaking corrupt. Oh, and it's most of them on both sides. I'm not a Republican. Like, I hate the title. I hate most of the people who fall under the R. Like, so you can say whatever you want about me. I don't care. But this country is going to be seeing a reckoning. You're going to see, if we have 4 more years of this nonsense, you're going to watch us just nosedive. Great Depression. You guys probably have read about the Great Depression. Maybe you should go back and brush up on what got us there. Hell, '08. I was trying to buy a house in '08, and then the market tanked. I got laid off from my job that I had at the time. Had to go find a complete different career. Like, do we want to go back to that? If you're as old as I am, you should remember the hard times that we had. We've had a hard time for the last 4 years being able to buy cars because there's no chips. And Cash for Clunkers took away a lot of old cars that were super cheap. So you're not finding a cheap car. And then fuel is so damn expensive. And then they're trying to force us into electric cars. I don't know about where you live, but here in Tucson, our grid is taxed already. California, they were trying to do this, and then they have rolling brownouts because their grid sucks, and there's way too many people on it. And as soon as they were like, yeah, plug in your cars at night, you need to be getting into these EVs, and then they had to start telling people not to plug their cars in at night because the grid couldn't handle it. Where's this power coming from? I know this is a hell of a rant. I'm jumping all over the place, but there's so much wrong with this country that could be easily fixed. Bring back nuclear reactors. If you know the first thing about power plants, they all run on the same damn thing. Heating water, turning a big fan, generating electricity. The most efficient way to do that is to get away from fossil fuels, get back on nuclear, and then we'd be all right. And all of our grids wouldn't be crapping out every 10 freaking minutes. Yeah, I keep losing my camera. Sorry about the occasional blackouts here. I'm dealing with them as fast as I can when they come up. I'm taxing my CPU with this camera, and I didn't feel like swapping out cameras to do this video because I'm a bit heated. And when I get done with this, I'm going to go back into the gym. But you need to be doing the research on what's going on in the world right now because it's not good. When you may be tired of hearing this from other people, this is the most important election in my lifetime. Depending on how old you are, it's probably the most important in yours. Is it worth the risk because you don't like mean tweets? This was never supposed to be a popularity contest. This was supposed to be who can do the best for the people. The Biden-Harris ticket sure as hell didn't do it. And don't blame me, I didn't vote for her. No one did. And that's the thing, they're trying to skirt past everybody. No one's ever once voted for Kamala Harris, but somehow she's the best. Hey, remember when she got taken down by a strong Democrat woman who I actually like, Tulsi Gabbard? You remember that? No? Maybe you should go back and look at the history. Stop watching these stupid short videos, shortening your attention span, making you dumber. Go back and watch. Kamala Harris got taken out by Tulsi Gabbard because she's weak. She's terrible. She's not a nice human. She's not good for the people. But you're getting caught up in the popularity. Oh, and how about, why are we still talking about Roe v. Wade? It's in the state's hands. Go make sure you vote in your state. This is the biggest problem we have with our political system. I mean, outside of all the other garbage, but the way it's structured. People only go out and vote for the president. They don't vote in their local elections. Get involved. Get online. It's not hard to find the information. Go learn about your local policies, your local people running. You know how many, they track the numbers of how many people per district vote every election, special elections, any kind of local election, your state board stuff, everything. You need to be getting out there, paying attention, learning who these people are, and vote. And if you disagree with everything I've said, that's your prerogative, man. It's free freaking world. Used to be First Amendment. You don't have to like what I have to say. But my Second Amendment protects my right to say it. And I'm completely okay with you having different values, different opinions. That's fine with me. I don't hate you because of it. They try to paint everyone as these crazy enemies that just should be at each other's throats. I have friends that disagree with me. But guess what? They're still my friend. I would still go pick them up on the side of the road at 2 a.m. if they called me because they had a flat. That's fine. You're allowed to have a different opinion. But if maybe, just maybe, your opinion aligns with mine and you haven't been doing the research and you haven't been voting in your local elections, please, I encourage you to do so. And if you disagree with me, please do it, because then maybe we can have an informed conversation, and maybe you can prove me right on something if you've done your research and if you know who's running for your local elections and what their policies are and what they've if they've been in office for a while, maybe how they voted. And we can have that informed conversation like normal adults without yelling and without calling each other racist bigots and all this other garbage, because this isn't second grade. We're adults. We have informed conversations. Now, you can get heated, and that's fine, but you don't have to hate somebody because they disagree with you. But I probably have paid more attention to what's going on than any of these people I'm talking about. So please get out, pay attention, start doing independent research. Don't just look at one source, look at many, and see what the great, the great consortium says when you put all this stuff together. Get away from the mainstream crazy people, because they want us divided against each other. We should be united. Everyone likes to say on 80 to 90% of everything, everyone's into the same stuff. We all agree on the same things. Now, we may disagree on how to get there. Like, I'm very pro first, second, third, fourth, fifth, all the way down. I like all of our amendments. Maybe leave them the hell alone. Because the moment you take away the second one, the first one goes away. Look at Australia during the lockdowns. Look at what's going on in freaking Britain right now. People are getting locked up for mean tweets and thumbs downing on Facebook or whatever. I don't know. I don't have Facebook. I don't care. But people are getting police showing up to their house and taking them away in handcuffs for disagreeing on the internet. Is that really what you want? If it is what you want, you probably shouldn't watch any more of my content, because occasionally I am going to be going on a political rant. I didn't make this channel to be political, but things are too damn crazy to just sit by and ignore everything that's happening and just go, oh, la, 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 everything's going to be fine. No, it's freaking not. There's still going to be hurdles for Trump to get over if he gets in office. And yeah, is he perfect? Not at all. Do I like him? Absolutely. But I've been in construction since I was 15 years old. That dude hasn't said a single thing I haven't heard 1,000 other people say before that. My wife was in roller derby. You know what's in roller derby? A lot of lesbian women. You know what they talk about? They talk a whole lot raunchier than Donald Trump ever has. I promise you that. Maybe, just maybe, stop hating the guy for some weird, stupid, petty crap and look at what he's done for us. I know I made $10 more an hour under his 4-year term from start to finish. I made huge pay increases because the economy was doing that damn well. Since then, I can't afford to go do half the things I used to do with less money. Like, I was making less coming in, but I was doing more with it because it went a whole lot farther. Is that the case for you? I bet it is. You may not be making more money, but I bet the money you have doesn't go half as freaking far. Just think about it, man. These are things that people need to be thinking about, need to do their research on. Yes, I'm anti-union. I'm as anti-union as it gets. We might as well be living in Russia if we're all freaking pro-union guys. You're a union and you don't like me for that? Hey, dude, that's cool. I don't care. You can live off of your retirement or whatever. But eventually, depending on your career could go away. That's what these guys are really afraid of. They're really afraid of all the automated systems because they know what's coming up and they're doing their best to prevent their jobs from going away because a computer can do it. Good luck finding a computer that can do my job. It can't happen. We joke about it all the time. For a year and a half, me and all my coworkers were joking, wishing we could work from home. Hey, let me work from home. All of our office people were, all of our salespeople, everyone else, they were all getting to work from home. Why am I still out here in the field? Your risk wasn't that damn big. You can go back and look at the history of the COOF and like, if you were that big at risk and your dudes were dropping off from it, they were probably fat bastards who hadn't been in the gym in forever, smoke a pack a day, drink a sixer a night. Those guys, because those were the people who were dropping over from this. And you can debate me all day. All the numbers are in my favor. You know what I am? Pure blood. Didn't get any of that garbage put in me. The only stuff goes in my system I'm aware of. Like, haven't had a cigarette in over 10 years. Like, never really been a beer guy. I like scotch because I like nicer things in life. And I don't like having a big, fat, nasty beer belly. But I bet these doc guys are probably that way. All the ones I've been seeing being interviewed who are okay with shutting down the economy because they want their taste. Like, they want their big percentage. Oh, these guys are making giant money. You're already making a wage. That's your cut. You agreed to that cut when you took the damn job. That's what happens when you get employed. You go in, you sit down, you interview, you discuss your strengths, your weaknesses, if you're a good fit for the company that you're applying for. And this is universally true. My 16-year-old just had his first job interview at Taco Bell. It's his first job. Now, he's done a lot of work with me. He can work with his hands. He can do tools. He's made tacos at home, like legit homemade tacos. He's never had a job for someone else getting paid. So he doesn't, in their eyes, have any, like, a lot of value to them. So he's not going to make much money. He doesn't care. He just wants to start making money. He wants to be his own man. And I applaud him for that. Very proud of him for it. But you know how many adults are in these positions in fast food joints? Demanding more money an hour, a livable wage from McDonald's? No, bro. You should want more for yourself. And now I know there's some people, that's all they can get. But generally speaking, I'm seeing an awful lot of old people in jobs they shouldn't be in. Now, I don't eat fast food, but they're freaking everywhere. I mean, half of them are attached to gas stations. You go in to grab a water or whatever, and you'll see a bunch of middle-aged people behind the counter. Like, why? You should want more for yourself. Like, go get a career, not just a job. And don't demand that you make $40 an hour working at McDonald's. What the hell is the matter with you? Get a skill. I don't care what the skill is. Just figure out a skill. Stop demanding of other people, raising the freaking rates of everything around, because the more you get paid, the more your product costs, the lower the quality becomes, and it's still overpriced. And you're the reason for it. Figure out how the economy works, stupid, because that's how it works. I make good money. I fix a lot of expensive problems for people with a lot of money. My value works out that way. But when I first got into this career, I got paid very little money because I was worth very little money. I had other skills that were relative to what I do, but they weren't exact. So I was making a little bit more than entry level, but not by much. And I had to work my ass off over the next 14 years to get to where I'm at. And now I'm help running other guys, giving other guys things to do, teaching other guys how to do things, training people, and running my own projects. So now I'm worth more money. Do you want to be worth more money? Everyone does. These assholes certainly think they're worth more money. They make more money than I do. You sit on a crane all day unloading shipping containers. You run a forklift all day. Like, okay, maybe vote for someone else and your money will start increasing. But because of the lockdowns and because the entire government was okay with shutting down all these companies, only a few big companies kept the ball rolling, kept money coming in, because we weren't allowed to go anywhere else because of all this totalitarianism. Like, no, you can't be in business, but you can. So Amazon, look at their profit margins from 2020 on up. It's insane because they were putting small mom and pop shops out of business. Now, personally, I would prefer to buy something local from a locally owned store than going online to buy anything. But you know how many small businesses got put out of business because of 2020? Look it up. That's where we're headed still. Now, the dude's not wrong that, yeah, they made more money, but that doesn't mean you deserve a piece of that money. You deserve a swift kick in the ass for supporting Democrats literally always. You should go back and look at the policies that put us in the position that we're in. Like, you fat prick, you don't get to decide how much money things are worth and get to destroy the entire economy because of your greed. And that's why I'm pissed. I don't get to go around marching around going, I demand more money because of X, Y, and Z. You made $3 million on that project. I deserve more money. No, I actively every day try to find ways to save my company money. If a job gets bid for 80 hours and I'm done in 60, guess what? I don't just sit around milking the last 20. I find something else to do and I get off of that project, and now we've made 20 hours worth of labor in profit. And if I do that long enough, then at the end of the year I can go, hey man, look at all the money I didn't spend that you got to put in your pockets. Can I get a little bit extra cheddar for my good deeds for the company? And they go, absolutely, bro, you're worth it. You got the job done. You got a job done on time. You got it done early. You saved us a crap ton of money. Over the year, you've saved us 60 grand. Yeah, we'll give you another $1 in a raise. That's how that works. Just be a good employee, and then maybe support someone with a politics that align with what your future holds. Like, I want to make more money. Which candidate makes me more money? Well, we're in the interesting position of having 4 years with this guy and 4 years with these people. Which one made you more money? Get over the rest of it. Like, everyone I know talks shit, and everyone I know says crazy things, and I know people from all walks of life. So it's fascinating to me how the crazy bastards who can't stand Trump because he said some crazy shit, you guys won't vote for him for it. But I guarantee you've said more insane things than he ever has. And that man has made me more money than any other person ever. He has furthered my future. He's helped me further my career. And he's made my quality of life damn good. So you need to sit down for yourselves and think about these things, because that's where I'm at. And I'm done screwing around with all of these other idiots who want to call everyone names. Take the easy way out, because I'm a white straight man. More importantly, I'm Christian. I'm the devil. Like, yeah, I cuss. Get over it. Not all Christians are perfect. I'm a Christian. I'm not a saint. Like, seriously though, think about this stuff. Do your research, because you're gonna watch your money disappear trying to buy some of these things, and you're gonna watch yourself go without a lot of probably key essentials based on all this. Now, at some point, I'm going to be trying to fill up all my vehicles before fuel goes to the roof, because the Dow just closed way down with fuel prices way up. So even though gas here in Tucson got down to about $2.93 this week, I guarantee it's going to shoot right back up to like $3.40. And I'm going to California this weekend, so God only knows what the price of gas is going to be there. It's a freaking nightmare, man. Like, everything in the world sucks right now, and I'm doing my best to stay extremely positive, and I'm trying to tell my entire family and all my friends, hey man, like, just keep your head up. You know, I know a lot of people are talking about scripture coming true. That's getting really annoying, because while yes, scripture is always becoming true, this isn't the end of the world. Stop acting like it is. Stop getting that negative black pill mentality. You need to white pill it. You need to get into your Bible. If you're freaking out about it and you're a Christian and you're really worried about this, just remember who you are and who you believe in. We know where we're going. So even if the whole world ends, okay, we're good. We know where we're going. If you're not a Christian, I will be praying for you, and I pray that you can, I pray that God moves in your life and maybe opens your eyes to the possibility of the amazing things. God's been great to me. I don't deserve anything I got. It's all because of him. But to all my Christians out there thinking this is the end of the world, you got to remember the Battle of Ezekiel. Israel will be living in mostly peaceful, wall-less cities before the end of days. So we're not there yet. We were getting there close under Trump. I was actually with those Abraham Accords. I was like, oh man, we might be getting the elevator ride out of here soon. And then all that went away. And now they're fighting war on 3 fronts right now. It's not the end times. Please stop being the black pill freaking out. It's the end of times thing. Like, and say whatever you want about Christianity. The cheapest cop out I've ever heard is that more people have died in the name of Christ than any other reason. That's horseshit. And if you open your brain and a book, you'll realize it is. Christianity is 2,000 years old. 2,024 years old. If in your belief, and I don't know what's true, how long human beings have been around, but if you believe humans have been around for hundreds of thousands of years, and the Christian faith has only been around for 2,000 of those, you think there might have been more deaths before the Bible? Because there was an awful lot of people wiped out by the Mongols. The Mongols are the reason the Middle East is still living in the Black Ages, like the Dark Ages. Sorry, man. More people haven't died in the name of Christ. That's a weird, stupid cop out because you don't like Christianity, and you probably know nothing about it, and you're probably keyboard warrioring. Oh, but Randy, I've read the Bible cover to cover. Yeah, well, then have you read the scripture that says that you will hear and not understand? Like, yeah, you could have. I've known lots of people who've read the Bible cover to cover. But if you've read it and you're not a Christian by the end of it, that means you weren't understanding it. That means it was too, I don't know, for you. Like, you didn't get it. I hope you crack it open, maybe pray a little, get yourself right, and read it again. But right now, in my personal belief, my faith is going to be the only thing keeping me positive through all of this, and it's going to be the only thing that sees me to the end. My God's been good to me, and my God's going to continue to be good for me, and of that I have zero doubt. Because even though these trying times are happening, my bills are still paid. I own a home. I own all but one of my vehicles, and I own a lot of freaking vehicles. Like, I'm good. My kids are fed. My kids are safe. I got no complaints, man. My only complaints are humans, and that's never going to change. Anyways, please get out there, pay attention, do some of your own research, stop letting some talking head tell you how to think and what to believe. And I'll see you next time. So thanks for hanging out if you've listened to this. Randy, Tucson, Arizona, out.